It doesn't matter whether they're sat in a school office or working from home, teachers will get their work done. Well, that's the claim from unions tonight, as the government says it wants to see flexible working for more school staff. One school in Lincolnshire has already torn up its rotas to give teachers more time at home. And it seems that other schools across the country could be about to follow, as Crispin Rolfe now reports.
It's really clear that the single biggest way that you can drive up standards in our schools is by having brilliant, well-supported teachers at the front of a classroom.
What every education secretary wants.
If you're looking for the very best people to come and work and stay within education, you have to look at the differences and the ways in which you can attract people to come to work within schools.
And what every head teacher wants. But how do you achieve it? Back in February, we went to West Grantham Academy, where they decided to give every teacher the opportunity to work one day each fortnight from home. And now their model's being championed by the new government, which wants to see it rolled out to schools across the country.
We very much welcome the release which says that teachers can take their PPA, that's their time for planning and preparing and assessing the pupils flexibly, because ultimately it doesn't matter whether they're sat in an office at school or whether they're sat at home, they're still going to get that work done, and to offer them that flexibility just brings teaching slightly more in line with the private sector, where flexible working and home working is the norm, and hopefully it will encourage some of those teachers that were thinking about leaving or have to leave for caring reasons or childcare. It will hopefully encourage them to stay in the classroom.
But does everyone agree with that approach? This was the view in Beverley.
No.
Why not?
They need to be in school, don't they? On a permanent basis.
Well, I work in a school, so I think they should work at work.
Work at work, yeah.
And then finish, cut off time, that's it. They should go home, have their own free time, but work's work.
I think doing the marking at home is better because they're in their own environment, whereas at school there's more distractions.
Been teaching for over 10 years now. It would be really convenient because it would allow me to do all of my planning at home, but also even drop my own children off at school.
Some local authorities and academy trusts are already looking at how they can introduce flexible working into their schools. And with the new government looking to recruit 6,500 new teachers nationwide, this is a tool which might encourage recruitment and retention. Education, of course, is one of the key subjects that this new Labour government will be judged on. But the question is, will policies like these attract good marks from pupils, parents and teachers? Crispin Rolfe, BBC Look North.
Be asking what you think in a moment. Joining me first is Julie McCulloch from the Association of School and College Leaders. Julie, good evening to you. Good to have you on the programme. This is great for teachers, of course. Is it great for pupils and parents?
I think anything that helps to address the huge issue that we have at the moment with recruiting teachers into our schools has got to be a good thing for schools, for pupils, for parents. You know, we have an exodus happening at the moment of teachers from the profession, and we need good teachers in front of our children. So if this helps, then yes, absolutely. But
teachers don't like pupils being away from school, but teachers can be. I mean, it's a very hard one to sell to parents watching tonight, isn't it?
I think the important thing to understand is there's absolutely nothing in these proposals that suggests that teachers wouldn't be in school when they're teaching. So all teachers have some time that is set aside during the working week for them to be able to plan their lessons, to mark work, to assess children's work. It's a key part of being a teacher, and that it makes sense, I think, for people to be able to do that wherever works best for them, wherever they can have the quiet space where they can really concentrate on marking books. And if that's easier to do at home than in a busy school, then I think that would, in most cases, work really well. I mean,
teachers have had a 5.5% pay increase. There's over 6,000 new teachers promised by this government. The one-word Ofsted things have gone. It's much more attractive profession, isn't it? So why are they leaving?
Really hope it is. I mean, when you look at the figures that have been the case for the last few years about how many teachers leave, it's eye-watering. 13% of teachers leave after 1 year. After 5 years, a third of them have left. After 15 years, almost half of them have left. So there's something here that isn't working. And I think if these sorts of changes can help, then that's a really good thing.
I mean, One Academy's Trust is aiming to achieve a 9-day fortnight for teachers. In other words, a 4-day week every other week. Would you welcome that as well for your members?
I mean, I think it's down to every individual school leader to think about what can work in their environment. So, the trust that's making that work is brilliant. And if they can make that work, that's great. I think there'll be other schools where that particular approach might be a bit more challenging. But I think, all of our members, we represent 25,000 school leaders across the country. All of them are starting to think about what can they do to make sure they can attract and retain the best staff for their pupils.
And final question, do you think that parents watching tonight are going to be saying, yeah, this is a good idea, teachers be at home, they don't need to mark in the classroom, or will they be saying, oh no, this is even more, easy life for teachers?
I hope what parents will be saying is what they really want is a brilliant teacher in front of their children. And if this helps to bring more teachers into the profession and keep them there, then I think that's something we should all welcome.
Julie, good to chat with you tonight. Thank you very much indeed for your time. Now, I'd like your views on this one. Should teachers be allowed to work from home? Is flexible working something that we've come to expect? And should all jobs maybe offer flexible working or where they can? But what about teachers? Do you think that teachers deserve, maybe as we talked about there, a 9-day fortnight, marking preparation for lessons, marking work and doing preparation for lessons at home rather than sitting in the classroom or at school? A good thing. The email address is there, looknorth@bbc.co.uk. Follow me on Twitter, Peter_Levy, tweet now, or text 81333, 81333. Start the text with the word Look North. We'll have some at the end of the programme, but tonight we've got all evening to write, and we'll have some more tomorrow night at the usual time. Also, very keen to hear from any teachers who are watching tonight. Let me know what you think. Now, a reminder of our main story tonight. Unions welcome government plans to allow more flexible working for school staff. One Lincolnshire school has already started giving teachers more time at home. Now, response on the subject of teachers going home and doing some work. Gary says teachers already get 12 weeks paid holidays and a very generous pension. Now they want to put their feet up at home and don't want to come into contact with their pupils. Thank you, Gary. Brian said, what is different about the idea of teachers working from home? As an ex-teacher, I always worked from home. Lesson notes, marking work, etc. Michelle says teachers are paid to be in school teaching and looking after our children. They should not be allowed to work from home. Richard said teachers do mark and do prep at home as well as doing their full-time job already. And Paul says how ridiculous a teacher's work should remain in school. How can they even consider this when they punish parents for taking children out of class? Interesting one to talk about. Let me know what you think. We'll have some more of your comments tomorrow night.